Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another vlog. It is literally just to say the next day. It started raining around 5:30 yesterday afternoon, so maybe we could have done all the harvesting, but kind of glad we didn't. Got me to look at some silos, and I've actually found one. Well, Clever Motors, they've got like a construction part, or what do you call it? Branch, I guess. And they can do us one for, so the silo itself is only 10 grand, but then the installation, the transport and all that stuff works out to about 16 to 19 grand, depending on how much digging they have to do, what kind of ground it is. So they will have to put in four concrete, like foundation pillar things, which will go into the ground. And they do that with quick drying concrete. So within about a week to 2 weeks, depending on rain and all that stuff, obviously, the silo can be usable. So I'm thinking to put it down here. So they sent me a couple of pictures, and it'll fit in here perfectly, and it'll have like an arm that comes out that you can then park underneath. The only problem is parking underneath that might be a bit harder than anticipated, but that's the only place I can really think of that for now will work. Because if it's here, you should still be able to reverse into it, you know, because you've got all of this to turn around. And it's similar to this, actually, a similar pipe to this, which is handy. And yeah, that's the plan anyway. I've not bought it yet. I want to see how much we get from the harvest first. We will need it anyway. So if we, for example, we'll be doing probably wheat, probably wheat, and then harvesting the straw from that. So yeah, we will be probably storing the wheat in the silo. The silage, I think he said, is 35,000 liters, something like that. So it's not a massive silo, but it's big enough for what we need to do. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to get harvesting on the corn over here. I'm quite interested to see how much we get. Probably, I think this is the largest field of the lot. I don't think it's quite the same length. Actually, it might be the same length as that. Maybe slightly shorter, but it's definitely longer that way. So maybe almost double the size of that. So I'm thinking maybe 3.5 to 4,500 liters, which will be good. If we can get it at the highest price, that should be about 4, maybe 5 grand. So yeah, we're going to get the drone up, jump into the harvester, and I'm going to get this field knocked out. So for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Oh, you got me stressing, counting all my blessings. God, come get me out of this town. 'Cause every day I wake up wishing I could break up with the city light and construction sound. I couldn't wait to move, I had so much to do. It's all I could do to get away. But now that I'm here, I'm filled with fear. In the mirror when I look at my face, all I see is an empty heart and broken dreams. Yeah, I'm probably running, trying to get away from myself. I need a vacation, maybe medication. Do you think I need professional help? I couldn't wait to move, I had so much to prove. It's all I could do to get away.
Oh wow, we've got 82% of this thing full. 4,500 liters. That is, to be honest, a lot more than I anticipated. I'm quite happy with it, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's very, very good. This is obviously the bigger field by quite a bit. And obviously, I mean, there's yield and all that stuff. And obviously sunflower and corn have different yields. So yeah, that isn't necessarily an indication of what is, you know, whether that field's actually massive or a lot bigger. But yeah, that's insane. That's a lot more than I thought. So thinking if we can get the best price for that, we're looking at about $4,000, maybe $5,000 for that. So yeah, that'll be good. Right, so this should all fit in the trailer. And I'm going to take the harvester and the header back to the dealership, back to Clever Motors. Obviously, I've got the truck still there. It stayed there overnight, which is not the end of the world. They said it's fine. That's kind of like an agreement when you lease a vehicle. You don't have to, be dropped off there and then take the harvester and then have someone drop you off again. You can just use your own vehicle and then leave it there overnight or for the couple of nights, or as long as you are using the whatever the equipment is that you're leasing. So that's quite cool. They're very considerate, Clever Motors. Got a very good business model. It's very much based around clients, client happiness or client satisfaction rather. Right, so I'm going to take this to Clever Motors, drop this off, come back with a truck. Actually, I'm going to speak to whoever I need to speak to with regards to the silo and have them come out hopefully today and get that process started at least. Obviously, they might not install the silo today, but they might do the foundation today and, get that, at least the process started. And hopefully we can, in the next week or two, have the silo up and usable. And then we can put whatever's in the trailer in there. And yeah, that should solve that problem. Not that it's a big problem. It's not the end of the world if we have to keep it in the trailer for a bit. But it's going to be like 3 months. October, November, December. Yeah, so January is the projected best time to sell the corn. And yeah, so it's going to be 3 months. I foresee us using the trailer before then. So I don't think it's a good idea to just store it in the, in there. This thing is so slow. 15 miles an hour. We used to, our tractor drives 32 miles an hour top speed. The truck goes 60 miles an hour easy. Wow, this guy's going like 2 miles an hour. Anyway, that's besides the point. We are here. We have successfully arrived with an empty harvester. And I think just park it at the front of that big warehouse there. So that's, as far as I can understand, that's where they keep all of the lease equipment. And this is where they repair all of the equipment, as far as I understand. It sounds like they do have another like warehouse thing somewhere, but I don't know where that is. So I don't really can't really tell you. Right, so quick chat to, well, hand this in, and then a quick chat to whoever's in charge of the silos and all the construction branch of Clever Motors. So I'll speak to you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so handed all of that back. The harvester, obviously the one, oh, they've already moved it. Well, I've been here for probably about an hour. Can't remember what time I walked in there. Anyway, that's besides the point. So had a quick chat there. Unfortunately, they can't just go, oh yeah, cool, just have the silo, we'll come install it for you. They, which kind of makes sense actually, to be honest, especially if you think about some of the mistakes I've made. They actually send someone to have a look at the property and give you a quote and advice as to what silo to get. The silo that I initially looked at, which again, it's a good thing that they do this, won't actually work for what we want because it was a fertilizer silo. So its sorting mechanism is for smaller items. So the corn, for example, won't work. It would work for wheat, but not for corn. So not ideal, but that's okay. They do have a couple of options. They just significantly larger, especially for corn, because the mechanisms and stuff inside are larger. So yeah, that makes sense, and I trust them. They are a bunch of good dudes. I've literally never had any problems with anyone from Clever Motors. So yeah, I have no reason to not trust them. So we're going to move the tractor. Probably, I don't know if the trailer will fit in one of the garages. I think it'll probably fit where the baler is, but I don't necessarily want to move. It'll definitely fit where the baler is, but I don't really want to move the baler. Might be able to just put it in one of the others and maybe not be able to close the door, which would be better. If we had like a tarpaulin thing we can put over, that would be great, but we don't have that. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to make do with what we've got. Right, so I'm going to try and put it in here where the tractor normally goes. There's a light there. I don't really want to... No, we're actually good. We can go forward. Don't want to hit the lights. The girlfriend will be really pissed off. Right, let's open this door and see how far we can get that in there. Even if it's... Because we've got the overhang as well. So even if the whole thing doesn't fit in, at least we can get most of it covered. That'll be ideal. Definitely be safer for the... you know, depending on the weather and all that stuff. Ooh, I'm making mistakes here again. That way, good. Right, we might actually be able to fit the whole thing in. Oh yeah, cool. Don't think we'll be able to close it though. Gonna tap the wall. Nice and slow. Ooh, we might actually be able to close this. I went in at a little bit of an angle. That's it. Cool. Right. Let's have a look. I think we might be able to close this. And obviously we just need to find... Oh yeah, we'll be able to close this. That's awesome. That's really good. Right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to move... Probably the fertilizer. Put it here in front. Actually, we're going to use the cultivator first. So maybe move this out. Put the fertilizer in there. And then put the tractor in there. That'll work. Yeah, let's do that. We could do this with just one... Kind of run it like this. Hook that up. Turn it around. Get this opened. And then hook that up. Cool. Open this up again. Well, close this one first. Then open this one. Bump my head on the fertilizer, which is not ideal. Right, and that should be good. There we go. And then just the cultivator. Put that in there. So, I can't remember if I explained this, but essentially they're going to send someone, hopefully soon, and they'll discuss the silo options we have, and then I'll obviously share that with you guys once he's done, and we've got concrete news as to what's happening, and then we'll put the tractor in here. Definitely do need to get a bigger shed. Close this one. Open this one. Like, we can fit most things in there right now, but I don't like having to reshuffle stuff constantly. That's not ideal, especially there will be times where we're really short on time and we might be rushed, and then, you know, if we have to move stuff around the whole time, that won't work as well as I want to. Right. Anyway, I'm going to wait for the guy to show up and we'll see what comes from that. So I'll speak to you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so it is 4 o'clock now. The guy showed up literally about 2.5 hours ago, and we essentially looked at a couple of places that could work. And I think we're going to go for this spot here. So he said all we need to do here is cut some of the branches off. And then the silo, it's quite a big silo from what he's shown me on pictures. The silo could go here. The platform, as in the hole underneath, will come to about here. He said just inside this marked area here. And they can put it at an angle that we can still drive through here and then use this drive area as a as a drive area to be able to maneuver fairly easily. He said the other option, we could put it next to the lamppost where I initially thought, but we're going to have to almost cut down this entire tree to make it work. And even then, it's not necessarily going to be enough space. From measurements perspective, it might work, but as wind blows and all that, it goes quite high. And, you know, it's not ideal to have it right next to the electricity like that either. So I'm thinking we're going to go for this spot over here. It makes sense. He explained it really well. It is a it's like a 5 million liter silo or 500,000 liter silo, something ridiculous. But it is the best option we've got. It is the only option we've got, really. So we're just going to have to make it work. It will go over here. I'll have to have a look at maybe cutting some of these branches off. So from what he mentioned, it will literally just have to be this small couple here and that small one here. So we might even be able to just put it in and just push the leaves away, but they'll decide when when the actual silo arrives. They have to put in a foundation. It's a bit of a bigger foundation. It's a lot bigger foundation actually, and they have to dig a hole because they've got like a dumping pit thing that goes underneath or that goes on top with a grid, and then all the sorting stuff goes from there, and that puts it into the silo. So yeah, a little bit of a bigger operation than I anticipated. Not much different price-wise. Maybe a couple of grand more, depending on how much they have to actually work on the foundation, depending on the ground quality and all that stuff. Anyway, right. I think, guys, that is going to be the end of this vlog. Just to give my voice a little bit of break. I know it's probably a bit of a shorter one, but some exciting things happening on the farm. We've got a little bit of work done. And we're going to next start sorting out those fields and that field over there. We'll probably connect these two and then, you know, move from there. But that'll be in the next couple of vlogs, next couple of weeks, 2 months. We'll get all that done. Get the grass planted again, stone picked, all that stuff. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next vlog. See ya.